Hi, Facebookers. This is Paul Bowerman from Flags Up. I'm here interviewing Clifford Peterson. Clifford, why don't you tell us a little about your life and where you grew up and your service to your country and how Flags Up got started.
My name's Clifford Peterson. I was born in Heber City, Utah, and when I was 2 months old, my parents moved down here for employment reasons, and we've been here ever since. I was raised here. I spent over here at the middle school. I spent 13 years on the same campus from kindergarten through high school, graduated there. Right after graduation, 2 weeks later, I went in the Coast Guard because I had a uncle who was in the Coast Guard.
I do have one question about high school, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It might be, you don't have to answer it. My wife grew up here.
Yes.
And she said you had a nickname. Do you remember that nickname?
From as soon as I got into high school, about 9th, 10th grade, I had one of the only afros in school because my hair was so curly. And so a good friend of mine named Joe Moore nicknamed me Hair Bear. And so a lot of people would not know me by my real name that grew up here and knew me. You'd tell them Hair Bear and they would know exactly.
So then they'd know exactly who you were talking. They were talking. Okay.
About, so. But yeah, that was my nickname.
Do you like Clifford or Cliff better?
Cliff.
Okay.
And I joined the Coast Guard because I had an uncle that was in the Coast Guard, and served 3.5 years. Was on a ship for a while, cruised around the Pacific. Then I went to aviation mechanic school, and then went to helicopters and flew in helicopters till I got out.
So you were a helicopter pilot?
Not a pilot.
But flew on the helicopter like a crew chief?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got out, lived in Alaska for a while, got married, had 2 kids.
So hang on, that means that you were did rescues all the time?
Yes, search and rescue.
And so you go out to sea, somebody'd be, their ship would be turned over, their sailboat or whatever.
Yep.
And you would fetch them out of the water and save their lives.
Yep. Even when I was on the ship, we went up to the Bering Sea and did that.
Oh my!
So
you didn't mind the cold, obviously, huh?
Well, that's it. I did mind the cold, but when you're young and dumb, you do whatever. It's just part of the job. Now that I look back on it and think of all this crazy stuff that I did, yeah, it's another story. But anyway, got out, got divorced, had 2 kids, came back, married my high school sweetheart. She was divorced, had 2 kids, and we had a son together. So we have a yours, mine, and ours family.
You're regular Brady's bunch, huh?
Oh yeah, we had 5 kids altogether. But
and now, how long you guys been married now?
30 years.
Woo! That's a long time.
Yeah. 30
That's
years.
good, stable people stay married that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then worked as an electrician most of my life in some of the different casinos, and then I got prostate cancer and had to pretty much quit working, medically retired, I guess you'd say. And COVID came along and kind of destroyed my electrical career, if you want to get specific. So I started doing some walking with my cousin Oscar and our friend Jack.
This is Oscar Henderson and Jack Johnson?
Jack Johnson, yeah. Jack we grew up together. We were all pretty much raised here. And Oscar, same thing, but he's actually my cousin. Oscar Henderson is. His dad and my mom were brother and sister.
Okay. I wondered how that
So,
relation was.
yeah. And so we would walk from my house on Cooper Street down to True Value and a restaurant there, and across the street and then back. And that's what we would do to stay, kind of get our exercise. And 2 years ago on Memorial Day, we noticed that the flags were not put up.
This is all the
down
flags on
boulevard.
the boulevard.
Yeah, usually they were up, but we noticed they weren't up, and we didn't think anything of it. But come 4th of July, we noticed they weren't up again, and we were sitting in front of the old movie theater. And
You have a nickname for that building,
well,
don't you?
it was called the old El Nortrivo, which is Overton spelled backwards. But anyway, we were sitting in front of the steps, and we decided to find out who had the flags. We made a bunch of inquiries, got a hold of the phone.
So this is the three of you sitting
three of
together.
us.
So you're all equally kind of
We're all equally guilty of this crime.
okay.
We were always wondering why we would do something like this and take it on, but Oscar served in Vietnam, and like I say, I was in the Coast Guard, and Jack was just tagging along, and we decided to put the flags up. We found out who had them. The VFW couldn't do it anymore, and the last time they did it, somebody fell out the back of their truck doing it, and so they quit. And so we decided to do it. We got the flags, found out what condition they were in.
What condition were they in?
They were kept in garbage cans in a guy's carport. There was leaves, the guy smoked, there was cigarette burns on the flags, some of them were in disrepair. A lot of the flag holders on the poles had been broke or fell off, and so we decided to get things going and fix things up. And at first we did ask for donations to help us out, because we didn't have a lot of funds to do all this stuff that we would like to see done, that needed to be done. And then in the process, we got so much positive feedback and a lot of donations that we decided to go, and every pole that had a light fixture on it that was on the boulevard, we put up holders. And we had somebody that donated a lot of the EMT we use for flagpoles. We had a lot of donations for people that would donated the metal and stuff for our flag holders, and we had somebody that would donate their time to weld this up for us, and then we would hang the holders, and through donations we were able to purchase new flags, and some of the material to actually put the holders up on the poles themselves. And so we started doing this, and 2 years ago, come the end of October, there was about 5 dates where we could actually fly the flag. And so we decided to just leave them up for those 5 dates.
So there was 5 days throughout the year that they were up anyhow.
Well, actually, there's about 40 days per year that you could fly the American flag.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of days.
As long as you have a light on it,
Right.
you can leave it up.
Right.
You know, but we would leave them up for 2 or 3 days and then take them down. and then the next holiday or Flag Day, because there's all the different services have a day, you know, Air Force Day, Coast Guard Day, Army Day, Marine Day, you know, Navy Day. You've got all your normal holidays. You've got Veterans Day. You know, there's all these different days, and Nevada Day. You know, and so when we started, like I say, 4th of July, we did Labor Day, and we come to, there was a service day at the end of October. I'm not sure which one it is. Air Force, I believe. And then there was Nevada Day on the 31st of October. There was the 2nd of November was the election, the presidential election. And then there was another day, Veterans Day, come up on the 11th of November, and then Thanksgiving. And so we decided to leave them up. And we got such a positive feedback on all these flags being up that we left them up. And there's certain poles that we had flags on that we couldn't leave up because there was no light on them. So we would take those down.
And you're still doing that, right? You're still taking that.
On holidays, we have we put up flags at the cemeteries, on all 3 of the cemeteries in the valley, and on all the poles that don't have lights on. There's 9 of them in Overton, and there's 3 in Loganville, and all of the cemeteries. Each cemetery has about 18 flags, plus a big flagpole that we put flags up.
So you maintain the big flagpoles at the cemeteries too?
Yes.
That's why they're always nice. Okay.
Yeah. We actually fixed the one in Loganville because it was bent really bad.
Okay.
And we took it down, had it fixed, and repainted, and we put it back up. But there's one, St. Thomas, down here in lower end of Overton.
That's the old Pioneer up on the hill, Boot Hill.
Boot Hill, yeah, whatever you want to call it. And then we have the one in Overton by the airport, and the one in Loganville. And like I say, we take them up and put them away each holiday. But every pole that has a light on it, we leave it up 24/7, 7 days a week. You know, 52 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, because I myself was wondering why you pick certain poles. Now I understand it had to have a light. Has to have a light.
Has to have a light. In fact, there were some poles that had a light, but they weren't working. And we would pull the flags on that pole until
somebody got the light
they
fixed.
got the light fixed.
Okay.
And we found out through Clark County that you could actually, as a citizen, put in a work order to have those lights fixed. And so we did that, and they actually came out and fixed the light.
Really?
It took them a while because there's only like a few of them that take care of all of Clark County.
Right.
A few workers that do this. And so it took them a while, but they actually did come out and fix the lights, and then we put the flags back up on those poles. But like I say, if it doesn't have a light, we can't put a flag on it.
Right. You can put it for a holiday, but not, it has to come down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now what if somebody what if somebody has a pole near their yard and they have the county put a light on it? Would you and they wanted a flag, would we put a flag on there?
If they asked us to, we would try to accommodate that.
Right.
You know, there's some flags that we have put up, and a lot of times it's for people who have done a lot of, given us a lot of donations or helped us out in ways that's the way we could repay them.
Okay, so let's talk about donations for a minute. You have an account through the bank,
account
right?
at America First Credit.
And so if they know the number, they can just put money straight in the account, or they can just hand you money.
Yes.
So I have posted a Venmo SKU or whatever it's called it's called the Brigham Tea Company. Is that okay if we use that? And
Yes.
okay, so
Yes.
because it kind of looks on the site like it's somebody's scamming. So that
Right.
SKU is, they just need to put flag up on the
Flags Up, yeah.
on the transaction. Okay.
Yeah. And we're always buying flags, because usually a flag will last anywhere from about 2 to 3 months, depending on where it's at, how much wind it gets, how much sun it gets. We try to buy the best quality that we can, but when you're talking over 220 flags,
220 flags you're maintaining.
yes,
Woo!
at any given time.
Yeah, and that's every day you go look at them, right?
Every day we try to put eyeballs on each
Except
one.
Sunday.
Except Sunday.
Okay.
We try to put an eyeball on each one, and we'll twirl it or unfurl the flag if it's all coiled up on the pole, and just generally make sure it's not tattered and faded, and so, like I say, about 3 months it's good for about 3 months, and then we'll replace it. So we're always replacing flags, and of course they're not cheap, so we don't ask for donations anymore.
Yeah, we're not begging for money. We
We
just
do not beg for money anymore. That was in the beginning, but nowadays it's strictly, if you want to give to us to help keep this going, we're more than happy to accept it, but we will not ask.
and it's not really a non-profit.
No,
There's no non-profit number. It's just some guys trying to serve their community, correct?
Yeah, it's our way of giving back to this community and this country that has blessed our lives
Tremendously.
tremendously.
Right.
You know, you think about it, we are one of the best blessed nations in this world.
In the world.
Our poor have more than some other countries who don't have what they have.
Right.
So I feel truly blessed, and because I no longer work, I feel this is a way for me to give back and do something for the community in this country. So
Okay. Cliff, how old are you now?
I am 61.
And you were in my wife's class, right?
Yes, we were classmates.
79? Year
79.
79?
Yeah.
And then you went straight into the...
2 weeks after I graduated.
Ooh,
I was in the
wow.
Coast
You were in the Coast
Guard.
Guard.
I actually signed up
While you were in
while
school.
I was in school.
Okay.
So I knew where I was going right after.
So growing up here, where we get pretty used to 115-degree weather,
yeah.
You went straight to Alaska, or where was boot camp at?
Boot camp was in Alameda, California.
Okay.
And then after,
that's not much difference, but
no, it
plus
was in the summertime, but it was still, it was. Mark Twain said that it was the coldest summer that he's ever spent in his whole entire life. There's some quote about that. The coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. And that's true. We wore coats. I went from 115 degrees to 65.
And then the culture changed, because we are literally in the middle of one of the driest places in the world. I mean, we're as dry as anywhere in the Arabic countries.
Yeah.
In fact, they train their militaries here for Arabic climates, and you went straight to the ocean.
Yep.
Could you swim when you got in?
Oh, yeah, I could swim.
Okay.
Yeah. That was one of the requirements to actually
join
the Coast Guard. They give you a swim test,
and you have to pass that test.
You have to pass that test before you could actually start boot camp.
Okay. So then you went through boot camp, and then when did you get shipped to Alaska, which is...
Well, I went to a ship that was stationed in the Bay Area, and a lot of where we went was Alaska for search and rescue and fisheries patrol, and I did 2 month tours in Alaska in the Bering Sea. If you've ever seen that series, Deadliest Catch,
Right. You were out there
yeah,
maintaining them,
that was
making
me.
sure they weren't overfishing,
Yeah.
and
Search and
rescuing them.
Yeah.
But you got heavily involved in the search and
We
rescue.
were more search and
Yeah.
rescue than anything else.
Yeah. So when you see, there's actually a whole series about search and
Yes.
rescue in the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
You're one of them guys that's right there
Yep.
helping bring people out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool as can be, Clifford.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clifford's you're a cool man. I like being around you. You're a good guy. This is a great thing you're doing. The community really appreciates it. I just started volunteering to help, but so fund wise you're okay, or how do you don't want, we don't want to say we wouldn't turn down donations,
No,
but
we
it's not
won't
like
turn-
we're needing beg for money, right?
No, we usually, it's almost like God provides, because at the time that we are running low on flags that we have purchased and we replace, right about the time that we actually need to go out and buy flags, there's just an overwhelming support of donations come in, and we're able to purchase new flags. It just
Okay.
never seems to fail that we will get what we need to keep us going.
Okay.
And
That's awesome.
like I say, we have this one guy that every time he sees us, he will stop and give us money.
No kidding.
I have another woman, older lady, that she'll see my truck anywhere, she will stop and give us money.
No kidding.
And just the other day, we were putting up a flag holder in Logandale, and the owner came out and liked what we were doing and handed me $100.
Oh.
And so, it just, and like I said, we do not ask for this.
Yeah.
It's just
People know that.
people know, and they want to be a part of it, and they want to keep this going, because we've had a lot of positive feedback on this. Not too many people have given us negative comments. 2 years ago during the election, it was pretty. We had some that were kind of heated and angry and stuff, but most of the time it's been always positive about things we do.
So let's talk about that just for a minute. This is not a politically motivated
No.
thing. This
Has
is just a
nothing-
love for the country. You don't care. We don't care what your political views are.
No.
Yeah.
It's all for the love of this great country that we live in. Because once this country goes, there's no other place to go.
That's right. It's like this.
This is the only country that's free, so to speak. And once it's gone, there ain't no other country. So we do what we can just to promote patriotism. And since we've been doing this, we ourselves have noticed a lot more flagpoles going up in yards. We see a lot more patriotism among the residents here in this valley. And like I said, we get a lot of positive comments. And in the process of doing this, the way everybody asks if we get paid for this, I go, no, the only way we get paid is if you honk and wave at us.
That's what the honking is all
That's
about.
what
Is
the honking and
you,
the
if you
waving
want to
is all
support
about.
us, just honk.
Just honk and wave. Honk
Okay.
and wave,
Honk and wave.
honk and wave.
That's awesome, Clifford.
So anyway, yeah, that's
I call you
absolutely-
Clifford, but you like
that's
Cliff the
fine.
best.
You can
Okay.
call me whatever.
All right.
Call me Hair Bear.
Okay. Clifford, we love you. We appreciate your service. Thank you for what you've done.